Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be trying my hand at making some kind of Minecraft content. I'm going to give you guys a tour of my realm that I play on with my friends. This is going to be mainly going through everything that we built so far, whether it be farms, like builds, just general like everybody's base and that kind of stuff, maybe some important like landmarks around the server. I might try to do like an update video on this, like maybe like weekly, bi-weekly, like something like that, just to give updates if I feel like it. But I just kind of wanted to try my hand at making some kind of content like this because I do find it fun, and I really haven't made a video about Minecraft in like probably 2 years at least, maybe more. Like COVID was probably the last time I did that, so that was close to like 4 or 5 years now. At least the last time that I like actually was trying to make a Minecraft video. Like I think it's just been Valorant pretty much for the whole time. But yeah, let's get right into it. All right, so we will start with my house. I built this. My girlfriend found it, like I guess a house like on whatever like social media platform. I think it was like TikTok, Instagram, something like that. And I tried to kind of like recreate it as best as I could. Um, it's not really decorated on the inside too much. We got a dog here, but it's kind of bare interior. I haven't really touched this at all, so I might have to go back and do that now that I think about it. But then I got the upstairs area here with beds, dogs, both my girlfriend's dogs, right there and there. I'll sleep real quick just so I don't have any issues with the what's it called, with like phantoms or anything. But the one thing that is cool about my base, you might be wondering like, oh, where's all the storage? Where you keep stuff? Barrel connected to an observer that pulls this block back and drops me down here. Now this was actually where my base was originally. There's a, if I go out here, there is a like lake right here. I like kind of like dug into the wall here and like dug out a big cave down there. Now it's not the exact shape it used to be, but this is kind of where I've always came up uh, to leave my base, and there used to be like more space over here, but I kind of changed that because and I have this stuff here, just like a stone cutter and chest and whatnot, just a chest that I'll put some random stuff in sometimes. But then I have my main storage area down here. I should probably close this lever, but you'll already see it, so I don't care that much. But yeah, just got all my storage stuff here, pretty much. Mainly just blocks and stuff, and like all my building stuff over here, and then like crafting materials, food, minerals and stuff like that, like fuel and everything like that, like more itemy stuff rather than the block stuff on the other side. Then underneath here, I have a lever that when I flick it, opens up this piston door and goes down into kind of a secret base area where I am working on getting every single armor trim onto a piece of onto a set of netherite armor. I'm gonna try a bunch of different colors. I just did these ones specifically for an achievement, which is which one? This one, the smithing with style. So I tried to get all 8 done. And also the armor that I have, my main set is just the rib armor trim with diamond. That's my favorite personally, but yeah. Oh, that is a Spotify ad. I didn't think about that when I was playing the Minecraft music in the background. Whatever. But then I just have like saddles, diamond horse armor, pottery shards here, shulker boxes here, different like tipped arrows and whatnot here. Extra armor, which used to be a lot more. Like this chest used to be full with stuff before I started this, but yeah, that's there. Crossbows, fishing rods, tridents in here, bows in here. I have a shield in here. I don't know why I have that there. And then swords, pickaxes, axes, hoes, and shovels all in there. Then I have my furnace area over here where I have just a bunch of... oh, I didn't take the gold out. Please. I'm going to craft that quick. But yeah, just that I have full with the dried kelp blocks, which you'll see my kelp farm later. I used to have a secret base back here. Secret area down here, but I moved it to be different. I'm not going to show that in this video because people on the server will watch it, and I don't want to show that yet because it is just hiding a bunch of TNT and these totems of undying, which I use a resource pack so it doesn't show up like in my offhand on my screen. But I got Lil Bro here, my Arctic fox that I brought back. I'll feed him some chicken here. I got it. Yeah, he's cute. I like the Arctic foxes. They're probably my favorite like mod that you can keep as a pet. But he stays down here, kind of watches guard on the furnaces and stuff. And I got a bunch of axolotls here. I don't have the blue one yet, or whatever like the rare one is, but I got all these guys. The pink, the brown, the white, and the yellow. All very cool. And yeah, so the one other area I have in my base, I'm planning to expand some more kind of areas like this one, but I have my library down here where I have all of these chiseled bookshelves filled with enchantment books. Also, this dog, he got struck by lightning. Like the dog up there on the like front porch area, he was right next to, this guy was right next to him, and he got struck by lightning while I was building this thing and came down here and just teleported and was just on fire, which was kind of weird. But yeah, that happened. I also had two villagers in my base from like the very beginning. This guy has unbreaking, this guy has mending, and I have my unbreaking books here, mending books here, and then it's kind of just scattered, like more armor stuff over here and more like tool stuff over here. And then just like miscellaneous stuff back there. But yeah, this stores all of my enchantment books. It has all my lapis and all my books and a bunch of extra iron to craft anvils if I need to. But yeah, I think that's it for my base. Like, eventually I'm planning to make like a zoo area where I can bring all my animals, make more space for stuff down here. Probably a brewery would be pretty cool. Because that also like when I expand these areas specifically for the like brewery, it would get a lot of this like potion material stuff out of these chests and save room for more different kinds of items that I can kind of move around the storage room and stuff, which is kind of cool. But I think that's it for my base, honestly. I don't really have too much. Actually, I will show off my ender chest and kind of the stuff I've collected because I do think that is kind of cool. This used to be like 40 netherite ingots. I like going around in the nether and just kind of grabbing all of all the like bastion stuff. I find that very fun. Got a bunch of diamond blocks here. I also have a bunch of extra iron blocks here, gold blocks here. Just this to fill the diamonds, and then some emerald stuff here. I still have some lapis up here. I need to move that now that I think about it, but that is there. Let me just out one by one. Then this shulker is emeralds and then beacon stuff. So I'll have my beacons here, my conduits here, and then prismarine blocks to make the conduits. I might add more conduit like making materials in there eventually, but I'll wait for now. Then I have all my portal making stuff, whether it be Eyes of Ender to kind of fill end portals. Like if I'm really far out, I'll go find a stronghold and just fill the end portal up and then go home through the end, which is very easy. Some pearls if I need to make more, blaze rods if I need to make more, obsidian if I need to make another portal, and flint and steel if I need to light it. Then I have my wood shulker, pretty self-explanatory. Might add some other thing down here, but this might just be like extra like birch wood and other kinds of wood and stuff like that. Probably won't need it. Then this is my light shulker and sponges, so sea lanterns, torches, and then both wet and dry sponges depending on what I'm doing. I am using a lot of these sponges right now too, so that's why there's some wet ones. Then I have food, which is just gaps and steak. Nothing too complex there. Armor trims, which is just all the armor trims I have. Treasure stuff, which is hearts of the sea, nautilus shells, goat horns, echo shards, which I don't even know what you make with these. I need to look that up. But shulkers, wither skeleton skulls, and some wither roses, which I need to bring more of those back home. And then the last one is just music discs, which is filled with all of my music discs, and then these disc fragments as well. Then I have totems, which I have 2 shulkers full of. All my girlfriend's armor for when she actually gets her own computer and is able to play. Extra pickaxes, where I have these guys. These guys have silk touch on the top. These guys don't, and this guy has fortune. Then these shovels have, and then extra tools, which I use the shovel a lot, so it's actually not my main one. But that is, I just have all like fishing rod, spyglass, brush, axe with silk touch instead of fortune, shovel with with fortune 3 instead of fortune 2, so I can just get a bunch of flint if I need it. And then weapons that I have extra, I have the crossbow that Technoblade uses for used in the Dream SMP, where he just kind of killed everybody with it, and I thought that was cool to make, so I did. My mace, both Riptide and Channeling Tridents, a shield, fully enchanted Smite sword, Bane of Arthropod sword. I might end up making a Smite axe as well eventually, but these are the rockets for the crossbow, and then a backup set of armor with the silence armor trim in diamond, which I guess I'll show like that, which I think it looks sick, but it's just kind of there if I need it. Let me put all this back. There we go. All right, and then we will put all these shulkers back in the ender chest. I'll put them all back after. I'm going to stop recording. But then I have rocket shulkers, which this one I need to refill. And then elytras, which I have like 12 of. I need to enchant these guys as well eventually. But a lot of stuff there. Name tags, anvils, enchanted golden apples, which I have 15 of. And then like a to-do list that I have just to kind of remind myself of what exactly I want to do. But other than that, not much else to show on my base, and now I'll give you guys a bit more of a tour of the spawn. Alright, now I'm kind of back near that area that I was at the beginning of the video. I think I'm on a different tree, but still. This is kind of right where spawn is. Most people spawned like in this general area down here. I realized I started this right at the beginning of a Spotify ad again, like an idiot, but whatever. So I originally made this part when we like first made the server with a bunch of like stone tools in it and maybe some like extra iron armor in case people joined and wanted to grab this stuff. I now realize that we can kind of just use the village for this, or like, I don't know, give people stuff, because I have better stuff to give people than stone tools and a shield. But then we have this tree, which we made to be like a Christmas tree. It did have a bunch of ornaments on it, but I wanted to keep it up just because it kind of looks cool. This was because I accidentally started a raid and a Ravager kind of cooked all the leaves underneath, which was not ideal, but didn't end up killing it and didn't end up mattering. But yeah, this'll have Christmas ornaments back up on it around Christmas time, as long as we're still playing, which I believe at least I will. Then we have our village here, which I'm just gonna do this. I don't fucking care. But our village, where we have, it's not fully complete yet. I want to eventually have it where there's all of these little slots full. But we got stonecutters. We got every single enchantment in the game on librarians at like the max effect. Obviously, I don't think you can get soul speed, or there's one of the mace enchantments. I think it's windburst that you can't get from villagers. Obviously, I don't have either of those, but you have those. I eventually want to have like blocks like the bookshelves here on every single one. I don't think the brick slabs look very good here, but here you go. Stonecutters, Fletchers, right? Yeah. You have the armor like and tool guys here. Like these guys sell the weapons. These guys sell the tools. This guy sells all of the armor. And you got a few other guys over here that do whatever. Fishermen. I don't even remember what this one's called. Yeah, whatever. And then you got a bunch of cartographers over here, which I really like, because when you get the like raid effect, you can trade the glass panes in for more emeralds than you spent to get the glass from the librarian. So it's very nice. Got some farmers, and then got some what are these guys called? Clerics, yeah, to trade the rotten flesh from a few farms that we have around the server. So we have that. Then we have this map of the server that I'll show off a little bit more later. But we also have a train station here, which I will take over to the farm area now. I probably should have gotten in the minecart first, just in case I missed. That would have been very embarrassing. So while on the ride over, I'll point out one thing. This is Adba's house, just one of my friends. He hasn't finished it yet. He hasn't played in a while, honestly. I would assume at some point he will get the urge to play Minecraft again, and maybe he'll finish it. We'll have to see. But now we're going over to our farm area where we have all of our like crops and animals. So take this and put it back in the chest real quick. We have a cow, chicken, sheep, and pig farm over here with bees on the left. Some cocoa beans that I just added right here. A machine. I mean, I guess this isn't really a machine, but this just makes bone meal. You can chuck any items that can make bone meal in here, and it'll go down into this chest. This isn't a very complicated process. It's just your normal average animal farm in Minecraft. I do eventually want to make a farm where you have every color of sheep in it, but that will not be anytime soon because I don't really need any kind of wool right now. So we should be okay with that. But then we have a sugarcane farm, wheat, carrots, beetroot, and potatoes, as well as pumpkins and melons over here. Again, just your average farm. I do need to build a nether wart farm over here at some point soon, but I don't know when that will be. Then over here, I'm just going to try to speed up. I have a automatic sugarcane farm that I built. It doesn't really work that well because not many people are over here all the time, but when I'm like AFKing at our next farm, it is very much working and it is pretty nice. So please tell me it's not working right now. Oh, it just fucking went through, so there's going to be a ton of kelp in there. Nice, dude. Exactly what I wanted while recording a video. But yeah, this is my kelp farm. If you couldn't tell, it looks really ugly. I'm not going to lie. But it works very, very well. I do really want to show off the redstone for this, but first, I mean, that works really well. I have this lever here, which will stop it from turning into dried kelp blocks. You can just flick it, and it'll stop everything from going into these smokers, but I will not because we don't really need kelp right now. But yeah, the redstone process to get it to stop was very difficult, but I managed to figure it out, so I was very pleased with that. Also have some of these being able to refill themselves, but it's kind of difficult to get all of them. So like some of these, like this furnace or this smoker will have to be refilled manually as well. I think this one and the one below right here. Yeah. So those ones need to be refilled manually, but that's very possible. And then to avoid getting AFK'd, like you can get kicked for being AFK on realms. You just kind of sit in here, just hold right click and then you press F3T. And it will hold down, act as if you're holding down the button. Even if you tab out, it will still flick the lever. And still keep holding right click for you. Until you press the button. Then, over here... Gotta get rid of those leaves. That is not what I meant to do there. But down here is my iron farm, if you couldn't tell by the villagers and zombies. This... I thought it was bad at first because I wasn't over here a ton, but while I was making the kelp farm, it made a ton of iron, as you could see earlier by my iron chests. But this is very, very, very helpful in terms of just building or being able to have a bunch of iron and being able to make anvils and whatever else you need iron to make at this point in the game. Like, it's not like I'm making armor or anything. Another ad on Spotify. Just going to pause that for now. But yeah, I think that's everything for this specific area. I think we'll go over to on this path, which heads over both to my sister's house, which she played like right at the beginning of the realm, but not anymore. And then I have a port over there that I'll show a little bit later. That'll be in a separate section. But we do have 2 more farms over here, and then 1 more back closer to spawn. So this farm over here is a automatic tree farm. I don't really feel like going into depth on how it works, but it works very well. It just needs a lot of bone meal to run, which is kind of annoying sometimes. But generally, we have enough bone meal. I have enough bone meal, at least, and the farms over there kind of produce bone meal themselves, so it is kind of helpful. I also give my sister some Arctic foxes, who are on leads. Okay, I thought they weren't for some reason. We have a little beach over here as well that I built before I built the port. I might need to move that. But I still do like how it looks. And I think the only other thing I have some I mean I made sure to kind of make a bunch of pathways around the place, as you can kind of tell. There are some street signs and everything as well. Just try to make everything look kind of like accessible to everybody, kind of thing, where like people know where they're going and you don't have to use an elytra to get around. So this is a like another port kind of thing, but like fisherman area that I made that I haven't used in like multiple months. So not sure exactly how much this will get used. A lot of this stuff is just from the Guardian farm that we have that I'll show later. But the main thing near spawn that I do like using is this farm, which is my mob farm that I definitely built myself, didn't copy off YouTube at all. Every single farm on this server is copied off YouTube, uh, except for the no, well the kelp farm like main area in terms of like the water stuff is copied, but I did all the redstone myself. And the iron farm is off YouTube. The tree farm's off YouTube. The sugarcane farm even is. Every like automatic farm is off YouTube. But same deal with this lever here. But yeah, this produces a lot of stuff. At least when you are AFKing. When you're not, it doesn't really do anything, which is not ideal. But I don't really care. Like, I just kind of have a bunch of stuff laying in here from previous AFK sessions that I didn't really want. I just kind of took the gunpowder and left. But I think that's it for spawn. I mean, another one of my friends, Dylan's house, is over here, which ended up getting briefed and trolled, which was funny. But other than that, I think that's it for spawn. I guess I didn't really give a good look at this tower right here, necessarily. But now I'll go into a little bit more depth on that port. All right, so honestly, when I was going to make this an entire section of the video, I was kind of thinking that this would be like a lot longer. But honestly, the port really doesn't have much to show for it right now. It's just kind of an area waiting for the happy gas to get into the game, which in these spaces here, I'm going to put happy gas in each spot, which could be very cool, I'm thinking. And they'll just kind of sit here and use to transport stuff across the world, which we will end up having more ports once we get to building those. But this one took a while for me, at least, to build. But this will kind of be the main one because it is the closest to spawn. I'm working on building a expansive map over here, kind of like the one closer to spawn, but it is not done yet. I didn't even put the banners on it yet. So, yeah, still have a lot to go. Still have this like other third pretty much, but could be nice because I think it is a little bit bigger than the one towards spawn. Some stuff looks weird. I don't know how maps work fully, but it does work. There's an area upstairs here. There's not really much up here. This area is kind of like not been worked on, but I do think this looks cool. Might add some axolotls or some fish down there at some point. But overall, still not much to show with the port. I will actually I'll show the quarry over here at the same time, and then we'll go show some people's bases and stuff like that. So the quarry over here, my friend Matthew, he just wanted to build not necessarily a big chunk error, but just like a big area with a beacon and just kind of break a bunch of stuff. Gave us a lot of stone to work with for different builds and stuff, so it was very nice to have extra blocks and whatnot. But other than that, doesn't really serve much of a purpose. I think the other port that we're going to build is over here once he finishes this this building, which has been unfinished for months. Don't know exactly when he's going to finish this, but this kind of has more materials from the quarry in it. I don't know if the quarry's going to get bigger either. That's all kind of up to him. But yeah, there are plans over here that have kind of been ignored for months that I might see if we can try to do once he comes home for break this, like, at the end of this week, which could be cool. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's it for this area. I thought I would have more to say, honestly, but I really don't. So you might have noticed earlier when I was at the train station over here, I don't know, I wouldn't really call it a train station. These are just kind of, no, I would. This isn't really finished. I mean, is it? Oh, no, it is. Yeah, he did finish it. Never mind, but you'll see inside. There's not much in here. Just kind of a fireplace. Some random stuff over here, which is kind of nice. Might try to see if we can add some kind of book to this lectern. Maybe like a like area to walk in, like a desk here or something, like a front desk to it. That might be cool. I'll see if Matthew's into that because this is kind of his thing. But there is another way from the train station. Kind of got sidetracked there, but you might have noticed that I just took this way, didn't really look into this way. That is because there's a lot of people's bases over here, so we're gonna go check that out. Also, that I did forget to mention, that's Sean's house. It is very odd. He built that on the first day and then barely plays at all, but he does play occasionally, so it still does serve its purpose. Um, yeah, close those. You can just see, yeah. There's his bed. There's all these doors with pressure plates. The door that does nothing. How do I get out of here again? I don't remember. Shit. Fuck, how do I get out of here? Oh, right here? Yeah, right here. There we go. Oh, wait, also, I think he has a crafting table over here or a furnace. Furnace right there. The goat horn in it. Nice. But yeah, that's his house. I totally forgot to mention that. But now, yeah, back over to the south, which, we have a little bit of, like, I don't want to call it roleplay, but, like, Civil War, like, we're just joking around with that kind of stuff. It's fun. But this will be the south area. You'll see the kind of resemblance once we get there. It's not, like, fully there, but it is kind of like a ranch kind of thing over here. But this first, we'll stop at Ryan's house, which again is interesting. It's less weird than Sean's, I will say, but this is Uncle Ryan's cabin, house operated by AI. My sister left a sign there that I'm not gonna read. But yeah, he has chests here, and then a hole to a random basement. Official New York State. I haven't seen this before. That's great. And then this lever that says "Do not flip" that is not connected to anything. So, not really much to see in there, but it is funny, so I do enjoy it. Then bedrock from when I gave Ryan creative mode to go find his stuff in the end, and then he just got a bunch of bedrock and goat spawn eggs, I believe. I don't know why, but he did do that. So I keep pressing shift to get out of it. Whatever, I'm just gonna fly here. But yeah, this is Matthew's ranch. He's pretty much the other person that plays the most. We also got Spencer, who's been playing a little bit more. That we will get to his base a little bit later. But this is right next to the quarry. You can see the beacon from it. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, we should probably make that a different light, because, like, that is sick. I didn't know the sunlight, or, like, the sunset changed the color of the beacon a little bit. That might be a bug, but that looks really cool. But yeah, he's got a horse here. His house that used to have a bunch of chests in it. Now just kind of has his bed and a little chest right here with a bunch of random stuff. I don't know why he has wood tools and gold tools in there. He has maxed out armor and everything of the sorts, so whatever. He's got a dog, a parrot in here. Then his pillager graveyard from doing a bunch of raids and stuff. And then his storage shed, as well as his wheat farm that has been here, I think, since the first day of the server. And then animal farm, which he needs to kill some of those chickens, dude. Holy shit. But then his kind of storage area with a bunch of random stuff in here. I'm not going to sort through his chests for you guys. I don't think you really need that. Then he has a big wheat field over here that he started like a few weeks ago. I might see if I can just AFK over here for like 30 minutes just to get all the wheat to grow so it looks nice. That's pretty much the point of it, though, is just for it to look cool rather than actually be a functioning wheat farm. That's kind of what the other wheat farm is for over there. Then, I mean, that's really it with Matthew's house. So we'll go on to Spencer's house now, I think. Yeah, that should be it. Where he is kind of building a fort, like, castle style thing. I don't know exactly what he's going for with this, but it does seem cool so far. I helped him build quite a bit of this wall here. We just kind of, I took a lot of his stone to do it and just kind of placed it for him. But he's got this horse here, a bunch of sugarcane here, and then in here he's got a bunch of his stuff, which he has now added like new areas here for an enchanting table, and down here for like a basement area where he is putting his storage room here, and then eventually other rooms over there. I don't know if he wants me to talk about anything else in here, which he has talked to me about before, so I will kind of ignore it for the sake of him. We'll see. We'll see if he wants to. He also has an armadillo in here, which I kind of didn't realize, named Tobias. Don't know why. Uh, Probably won't ask. But we do have Adba and Isaac's base over here, where I did talk about it before. He did move out of the space, and Isaac doesn't play anymore. So it's just kind of here, doing whatever. Like, I don't know. Nobody really goes here anymore. It kind of has some random shit in the chests from early in the server, and not really much else. But I think it looks okay, and it's kind of a nice, like, touch to have the hill not look so completely empty right here above Spencer's house. I mean, if he wants to take it down, we'll let him take it down. I don't really care. Eventually, we're going to have a bridge over here that goes over towards Spencer's house at the front of the castle walls. But, I mean, other than that, there's not really much to talk about. Obviously, I could have each individual person give me a tour of their base. That might actually be a cool idea for a different video. Maybe, like, once people update their bases a little bit more, I'll do that. But yeah, I will show the one other thing that I wanted to show over here. Not this cow farm that's been here since day one that I have no idea who built it. This squid farm that I am currently working on, where I have to drain out all of the kind of the water in like an 120 block radius from the middle here. So this has been kind of a process, but I'm almost done with it, so that's pretty nice. And then I think it's time to go to the Nether. So this is coming through the portal near spawn, not the one that I was just at. That's up on the Nether roof. I will get to that later. But I do want to kind of go through some of these tunnels that lead to people's bases. I mean, going down here, this literally just leads to Adba, Isaac, and Spencer's bases. Okay. That just happened. That just happened. But this leads to my, what's it called? My battle arena that I started working on a few months ago and then just completely stopped working on for probably no reason other than I just got bored with it and got preoccupied doing other stuff. But it's like, I'd say like it's like 55% done. I still got a bunch of stuff to do with like more stands on the outside and other functioning parts of the battle arena, but it does look pretty cool. And I will eventually finish it. Maybe add some more kind of mini game style stuff in that area. Then if we go back through the Nether over here, I honestly thought I'd have more to talk about over there, but and that would be kind of its own section of the video. But down here we have a few other things that I will show later, including the end, our guardian farm, and our spider farm. Now this has been under construction since like the first, I want to say like week of the server. Don't know if Matthew's ever going to update this or if he's actually done and just didn't remove the sign, but it doesn't really look like this is done to me. So, not exactly sure. But this down here, I never use the Nether pathway. It's close enough in the overworld that I just don't care. And when I bring the villagers back from this villager farm, like villager breeder, when I bring them back, I just go around the ocean over there, which is very simple. So I don't really bother doing it most of the time in terms of going through the Nether. And plus, as you can see, the kelp farm is right there, so don't really need to. I can just kind of fly over. But yeah, I think we'll talk about the other stuff down this tunnel over here in a bit. But first, we will go onto the Nether roof, which is kind of a bit more annoying to get on now because I can't fly up ladders with my elytra anymore, which is really annoying. I kind of got this area to put cords to random portals that I have on the Nether roof. I'm not really going to go through all of them yet, but the one thing that I do want to do is go check out this raid village that I've started, which is specifically for raids and an area that I've kind of set up to do that. So it's at this way and this way. There we go. So it'll be like 2 seconds until I get there. Yeah, literally right here. Iron golems walk through the portal like a moron. I need to figure out a way to put doors here, but the way that I've built this doesn't really fit with doors too much, so don't exactly know. But this is kind of just a fort that I'm building. Looks pretty nice, I think. Not exactly sure how I want to do the rest of it. But I do think what I have so far looks nice. I'm thinking about adding a moat around the outside, as you can see by the blocks that I've broken. But also, I kind of don't want to, since it's a raid village, so if either the mobs aren't going to fall in the lava, or they are, and then I'm going to lose totems and whatever. But there's villagers trapped under here, and just all the random items that I have for either breaking, like that I have from breaking stuff in this village here, or that I have for building stuff in it. So not really much to talk about yet, but maybe we'll do a raid at some point as a video if I do enjoy making this, which I really have so far. This has actually been really fun. But that's really the only thing I wanted to show on the nether roof, and even in the nether at all. We haven't really built much here yet. We're eventually planning on making some kind of build. Oh wait, yeah, my gold farm. I forgot about this. This produces a ton of rotten flesh. Like I have this plus, if you remember the shulkers just on the ground in my base doing whatever. I need to walk away from this because it is very loud. The shulkers just on the floor in my base, kind of around the chests and stuff. That was all what's it called? All like full of rotten flesh. I also have, if you see this is part of the Guardian farm that I will go show you later. Don't want to explain how it works because I don't know. But we'll go down this ladder and head to probably the Guardian farm first, then we'll go to the Spider farm. Alright, so the Guardian farm is kind of weird because it uses like the Nether to transport mobs and stuff into the spawn point, but I have to make the portal fairly far away so it doesn't mess up all of that kind of stuff, as you saw with that thing on the Nether roof. So the Guardians basically spawn down here, go through the Nether, do some weird thing in the Nether, and then come out this portal and drop down onto this. Again, not exactly sure how it works. I will turn my audio down because there usually is quite a bit of them once they start coming through. But we just kind of use this mainly to get XP, honestly, because Guardians give a ton of XP, more so than Endermen do, but it's kind of a bit more annoying to farm them since they do like the thorns damage and whatnot. But yeah, we have a ton of prismarine and stuff here. That's why I use sea lanterns on a lot of stuff to, oh good god, to light it up. I keep burping. But yeah, they kind of drop into here, take a bunch of fall damage on that iron bar, and then are one hit down here and just die. But yeah, as you can see, there's a ton coming through now. And then I just have a bunch of like lapis, books, iron, and anvils in here as well, kind of like in my enchantment room at my base. So yeah, again, not really much to show with the Guardian farm. Actually, I might try to link the description, or link the farms that I used in the description if I can find them. But some of these aren't very complicated. Some of them are. Like the sugarcane farm, I'm not going to bother to link because it's pretty simple. But stuff like this farm, maybe the Enderman farm. Actually, not the Enderman farm. I did myself. Well, you'll see. I kind of did it myself. But stuff like the wood farm, the iron farm, stuff like that. I'll try to link in the description if I can find them. All right, so now at the spider farm, kill that guy real quick. This thing I'm just gonna go into spectator mode to show you guys because it is a lot easier. But this is a bunch of cave spider spawners that I found all right next to each other in mine shafts. There's this one, and this one, I believe, but this one doesn't really work with the farm, so it's kind of just two cave spider spawners next to each other, kind of feeding into one small area here. This was the first kind of XP farm that we had to work with. It is not very fast whatsoever, but it does work, gives a lot of string and stuff. I mean, we have so many spider eyes from this because, I mean, we're just never going to use all of these in our lives. Like, maybe eventually we'll use a bunch of them for weakness potions, but otherwise I don't really think you use spider eyes for anything other than eating them to poison yourself. But again, I have a bunch of stuff here for people that maybe don't want to use the Enderman farm and want string. I don't know. I didn't really bother filling this one up quite as much with the lapis stuff because it's not quite as important. So before we go to the end, I do kind of want to give you guys a little small tour of maybe small things around the server that are kind of interesting, maybe some little landmarks, and then we will kind of go down this path into the end. I'm going to be honest, I couldn't find any areas that I really wanted to show in this video. There's this one cool area with like cool generation as a mountain, but my OBS won't work. If it starts working while I'm recording this part, maybe I can show it. But yeah, not really much to see, so we'll just go straight to the end. So now heading down these stairs to the end, there is a big project behind this portal that I worked on for multiple months in a row. Now, you're going to realize if you do pay attention to Minecraft, like YouTube people, this is very similar, if not the exact same, to what another Minecraft YouTuber did. But I did flood my end island just because I think it looks really cool. I'm not necessarily trying to copy exactly what Phil did with his end island, but I did really like the concept and I kind of wanted to do different stuff with it. So I just finished this like maybe a month ago max, and I really, really like it. Honestly, the hardest part was getting the end stone down. Everything else was pretty painless. Like I did kind of enjoy placing the glass and really enjoyed flooding it. That was very fun. Outside of like some small hiccups and whatnot in terms of like filling in small areas with like the weird way that water flows. But I think this place looks really nice. You'll see that boat over there. It looks okay, but it's kind of just meant to be a copy of a Fortnite boat. Uh, it basically spawned like every or like around the map in like different spots every game. I don't know if you could tell. I just smacked my mic on accident, but it would spawn around the map in different spots, and me and my friends used to love dropping there. So I just decided to recreate it because it's not in the game anymore, and I did think it was fun. So we'll probably end up building like I know some of us want to build like bikini bottom stuff. I don't know what else we would build in here because there is a lot of space. But the main part of why I wanted to build this was having the Enderwind farm in the middle of the island. Uh, and it's amazing. Like, I think this area looks awesome. You have the enchantment table over here, again, with all the lapis and all of the iron in here. The Enderman farm, which, I mean, is very loud. And the amount of XP you get in terms of the amount of orbs is very satisfying. Observer clock that gets rid of all the pearls onto a cactus, and just some chests here to fill in some extra stuff, as well as like have some building materials. And then you can also spawn the wither if you put the soul sand on these blocks and then the heads here. You can spawn it and it will get trapped underneath the portal and also kill all the endermen, giving you a bunch of wither roses in case you need those for building some kind of farm. So as of right now, the end really doesn't have much to show. But I do think it is a very cool project and definitely the thing that I've spent the most time on in this server by far. Uh, I am. Wait, what am I? So I am currently working on the squid farm. I'm trying to kind of just get more rich in general. I'm also making the squid farm to build Squidward's house from SpongeBob. So because we need a bunch of dark prismarine, so I just need all the black dye for it. That's the one thing we're really missing. But I do kind of want to change the color of these beacons, add some more stuff in the water, because this does kind of look pretty empty. Maybe make some sand on the bottom instead of the endstone. But overall, I don't know. I think this world is really, really cool so far. It hasn't even been around for a year yet. Maybe I'll make a video when it comes up on a year. But with that, that'll be the end of the video. I don't really know how to outro this because I don't really care that much if this channel grows too much, but I just find making this kind of video fun. And that's kind of what I use this channel for, is just making videos that I find fun to make. Like these, my Valorant montages slash clip videos, whatever you want to call them. I mainly just use those to get the clips off of my computer, because if I just let them sit there, like if I clipped stuff and then just didn't use it in those videos, my computer would be full with Valorant clips. That sounds like a flex, like I'm really good at the game, but I'm not. It's just I play the game quite a bit, and I end up hitting clips every now and then, or funny stuff happens and I clip it and whatnot. But yeah, that's kind of just what this channel is for. I'll probably try to make other content like this for Minecraft if I do enjoy it, which I mean, I probably will. It just depends on if I want to edit it deeply. Like, I think for right now, this is just going to be a very simple cut the video here and there and then just upload it and see what I want to do. Not really gonna make a big thumbnail. I might take like a screenshot or something somewhere and have that be the thumbnail, but that would be about it. And yeah, I'll see you guys maybe in a week, couple weeks, depending on how much stuff gets done within the next week on the server. Because I haven't been playing a ton in these past few days, but I thought maybe a video like this might get me kind of reinvigorated. Oh, I actually, the other thing that I didn't want to do is talk about my resource packs. I don't know why this says, wait, hold on. Yeah, okay, it does work. So I don't know why these say they're incompatible. I'm assuming it's just because there was just a new update. But this eating mod, oh, I didn't put on animated ores and better lanterns. Why didn't I not do that? Well, that's interesting. But this makes lanterns look a bit more 3D. It's kind of nice. Animated ores, which kind of make ores glow and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. It doesn't like make them easier to see necessarily. It just makes them look kind of cooler. This eating resource pack, which, oh Jesus, I did not think it would do that. Which, as you can see with my Gapple, kind of makes some different eating animations for different stuff. Also, I think it has animations for drinking potions. The Watch of Undying resource pack that I talked about earlier, and then this high contrast one, which is into the game, I believe. I think it just normally over here if you looked. And then the colorful containers, which if you notice when I opened like my ender chest or random other chests, kind of changes the look of some stuff like that. Also like the crafting table, I think. Yeah, this looks a little bit different. I haven't not used it in a while, so I don't actually know what the difference would be. But yeah, that's the other thing that I want to talk about. And yeah, I think that's the end of the video. Don't necessarily know how to outro this, but hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next one if I do end up making a next one.